Hello, Warhammer YouTubers. It's this is basically like a August September 2019 hobby journey. Okay, well, it's been a few weeks since I published a video, and I did try to create a couple videos in recent weeks, but there were a few technical difficulties, and I decided to scrap those projects. But right now I'm just having a little chill, trying to get back on that train. I'm not going anywhere. It's been a busy hobby month in some respects, and it's also just a busy time, but we'll see. So otherwise, I've been playing a lot of Warhammer Total War. Now, I want to cut that back. September is a kind of a busy month at work, and so when I got home, it was more appealing just to kind of zone out. But that said, I'm really starting to get a little more organized again, and I hope that you'll see quite a lot of content this month in October. Some of that might be related to the Total War game. Much of the month I've spent playing as Dark Elves, and that's been really great. That's kind of but as a method to bridge my video gaming with my current hobby project, I recently started playing as Clan Scryer. I never played as Skaven in the game, and Scryer has been just an absolute blast. I love their playstyle, which is kind of surprising in some ways. Okay, so on to some hobby-related content. Alright, there are a few topics I want to raise in this video. Number one, I did manage to get some painting finished in early September. 3 different Skaven Claw Lords, kind of an older metal model, the version from the Island of Blood box set, and the old Queek Head Taker. It's easy to get in a rut when you're painting. Everything gets painted exactly the same. And that's what happened with these Claw Lords. I really liked the paint scheme I was doing with my Skaven Clan Rats, and so I just kind of transferred that right into the Claw Lords. But it was only after looking at the GW website and seeing that the old Queek model was actually painted in red armor, I changed my mind. I basically repainted him a little bit and altered my approach for that one model. It's a good reminder, I think, always, and I need to constantly kind of think about this. It's always good to look around and see what else you can do by searching the internet. Right now, my current hobby project is finishing my old Screaming Bell. That will be finished probably next week. There's not a lot left to do. I am going away to California here tomorrow, but I'll be back and I'm going to run right back into this. And I've also been putting together some Storm Fiends. A while back, I made several different army lists for Skaven. And more recently, I revisited those in September, and I created an army list for each of the clans. And I like to be pretty Puritan about it. I have a little bit of Master Clan. Gracier in most lists is extremely useful. But other than that, they're pretty much straight up. Not a huge fan of hybrid lists, just from a visual standpoint. And what I did is I made the list for each of the clans, and then I priced them out based upon what I already own and what I would need to buy in order to finish them. And from that process, I've decided to finish kind of a casual Scryer list before moving forward with my Master Clan army. So the plan here is to finish 2 full 2,000 point lists. I will not have painted everything I own, but if I can complete those 2 armies, I will feel comfortable moving on forward to a different hobby project. Probably Cities of Sigmar, because that's my next massive unpainted army. So number 2, last month I picked up the Space Marine Codex and the Ultramarines Codex also. I spent some time organizing and dividing my Space Marine collection into different chapters, and I'm eager to get into some sort of 40k project. Going off of my, guiding principle at this point, that I should be focusing on the army with the most unpainted models, I think it'll end up probably being Ultramarines, but I need to look at the numbers again. But, interesting times for the most part. It's probably either some sort of Space Marine faction or an Eldari faction of some sort. And then number 3, Mrs. Hooves and I have been playing a lot of AOS in the past 2 months, and she's been really loving it. We dropped off in gameplay together a couple of years back. And honestly, we've been playing Warhammer Underworlds and things like that together, and she wasn't really that keen on getting back into AOS, and I'm not really sure why. Probably like the time involved. She knew she'd have to learn a lot of rules again, and that can be pretty intimidating. But she found an army she loved, and that's always good. So sharing the hobby with my spouse is always great, and because she's very motivated now, she's actually keen to kind of paint the army herself. And I want to, probably what I'll do there is give her some guidance, paint like a prototype model along the scheme that she would enjoy, and help her to kind of do that. Now, if someone else wants to paint my army in a way that I like as well, then that's beneficial. So she's always enjoyed playing the death factions. Back in 8th edition and previous editions of Warhammer Fantasy, she always played vampire counts. And so she's quite smitten right now with playing Night Haunt. And you might see some Night Haunt content on this channel, as I said, as I try to teach her some basic painting methods in a quick but effective method. But we went to the local hobby store this past weekend, and she was also interested in the Idanet Deepkin Etheric Vortex Gloomtide Shipwreck. Good God. So perhaps Deepkin will also be in the channel's future. I don't think she'd ever really taken a look at that faction before, which is good. And although she really likes death armies, it's nice to be able to kind of branch out and explore something else a little bit. There's obviously, 3, almost 4 armies now in death that she can explore. She likes to focus on one army for a very long time, though, just to make sure she knows the rules. I've been kind of coaching her, writing down like little notes for her when she's playing. But next time we play, I'm instructed to not tell her anything and to take full advantage of any mistakes that she makes. So we'll see. I'll probably still lose. The Scryer list and the Master Clan list I'm making are both kind of good examples of, in some ways, terrible teaching examples for her. I totally intend on taking Thankful in the Master Clan list, and because he's Master Clan. And he's a good horde killer with his 4 warp fire projectors. And her Night Hunt list that we made up together, she really loves the Chain Rasp hordes, and so the plan is to have 2 units of 40, which is pretty terrifying. I think that would be an interesting matchup. Thankful could pretty much easily kill a unit of 40 in a single round of shooting, so that's a good lesson in the fact that Thankful could potentially do that to her. I don't think she's ever really experienced that. And also, the Scryer list. The Scryer list will probably be absolutely screwed by 2 units of 40 Chain Rasps. Like, I don't think I can actually win that game. But I do think that she's so banking on the fact that, she has these characters that really ramp up those Chain Rasps up several degrees of effectiveness. And I have enough ranged attacks that army can take out her characters, and she needs to see that as well. That it's not like Warhammer Fantasy where you can kind of hide behind things and losing those synergies quickly can be effective. So that's my pretense for making those 2 armies, just to probably lose both games, but show show her some examples of what could happen. All right, so number 4, my gaming buddy Ryan Taylor is thinking about jumping into the YouTube game, and he would like to make a series of narrative battle reports. And these would be probably promoted on both of our channels, kind of alternating back and forth. There's some work involved there, but I'm looking forward to that. I think that it would be fun, and I'm happy to promote the content of other channels wherever possible. So finally, there's a lot of news and events in recent weeks. I haven't looked too closely at it, but I'm very excited for Cities of Sigmar and getting my old models back on the table. Some of the battle line options are just amazing, and I'm really looking forward to this. So I think things are looking really good. I'm excited about the combination of Games Workshop and Marvel. I love Warhammer Comics. And I think things are shaping up for a pretty good hobby month here. So I'm going to go away for a couple days. I'm going to come back and I'm going to get right back into this painting and making videos. See you in the rest of October. Have a good one.